browsing the Nintendo store and I come across this game, Ritual of Raven. And it looked so darn cute, I just had to give it a go. So this one is a farming life sim game. You begin your game having been sucked through a portal into a strange new world. You meet a witch who offers to train you up in magic. Yep, this world has magic, and you are totally psyched about it. But she explains that these portals that brought you in are going absolutely haywire, hence why you just got sucked into it, and she's going to train you in magic so that you can help her fix the problem. The very next day you'll start on your new witchy adventure where you'll be trained to farm. Farming doesn't sound magical in the least, but that's far from the truth here. In this world you can't physically do the farming or you'll strip away the magic, so they have things called constructs that will do the work for you. Constructs work by reading cards, so if you wanted to harvest some crops, you would give it a card to harvest. Which is fairly simple to start, but it does get quite a bit more complicated down the line. But as a new witch, you'll need a familiar to harness your powers, so after you collect a few basic flowers and do a ritual to summon your familiar, you get, by no surprise, a raven. A sassy raven at that. At this point, your mentor-to-be, who's meant to guide you through all there is to know about magic, ends up leaving through another portal that opened up. So you're left all by yourself in this strange new world. Now, this is where the game really opens up. As you go into town, introduce yourself to all the other people living there, and start taking on various tasks, all at your own pace. The characters in Ritual of Raven are perfect. Super unique personalities, the cutest character designs, they all have their own struggles and passions that you'll assist them with in one way or another. It's perfect. So you'll get lots of tasks here, from gathering materials, solving puzzles, finding locations, you name it. Everything from main quests, side quests, and relationship quests. And I don't know about you, but I love being bombarded with these because it means I'm never in a position where I've got nothing to work towards. Something I also loved about characters here is that to level up your friendship with them, you need to find them the right item. Each character can be gifted 3 items and you can see the basic shape, but you won't really know what it is until you actually find it. So you don't have to give them all your good stuff or speak to them every single day. Not unless you want to. So back to the farming aspect, and let me be clear when I say I am not good at automated kind of games. My head often just can't get around the more complicated mechanics of that kind of gameplay. However, with Ritual of Raven, I found it was kept simple enough that I didn't have trouble with it. So if this automation aspect of the game has you a little bit unsure, it's definitely easier than most games of a similar nature. Still a little tricky, but not nearly as bad. Plus, I also liked that the automation didn't take up the majority of the gameplay either. Aside from farming, you'll also need to complete some puzzles in order to actually collect more of these constructs. But again, it's pretty straightforward. For these puzzles, you'll actually see what specific cards you need to use to complete it. It might be that you need to harvest a plant and give it to a statue, or extract some crystals. These puzzles basically teach you a new card that you can use, but in a pretty simple, easy to learn way. As you progress in the story and collect new constructs and tarot cards, you'll be able to get your constructs to do other things like collect crystals, transform crystals or plants, collect seeds from plants, and super cool stuff like that. There's some more complicated things, but they're totally optional, such as harvesting on certain moon cycles or only doing an action at a certain time of day, things like that. But I personally never went too crazy with it because my small brain couldn't handle it. Making money is super easy in this game, which I did appreciate. If you need money, you can just grow some plants. Even growing a small amount of crops earns you a lot of cash. And then this money you can use to buy more seeds, new tarot cards, home upgrades, and a ton of really cool furniture that you can decorate your house with. So yes, you can decorate your home, the area outside of your home, and well, everywhere else. There's a lot of freedom here, and I had a lot of fun making a cute little yard. Seriously, the amount of different furniture you can get here is amazing, and it's really adorable stuff too. Personally, I didn't go crazy with decorating the town as I was a little bit worried how much the game could handle, and I didn't want it to make my game laggy or something. So I only just put a couple of fences down to make the town a little bit cuter. But yeah, starting the game, you'll basically just have access to your home area and the town, but progressing the story will open up 3 other areas, which introduces more characters, more plants, and more resources. You'll also eventually open up 3 museums. That's right, 3. One for pages that you can collect, one for rubbish that you can fish up, through portals mind you, and another for crystals. So there's yet another thing that you can work towards in this game. Now in terms of being a witch, it isn't really that witchy at all. So yes, you use these constructs to do your farming for you, which oftentimes when I just wanted to do a quick harvest of something, I found myself getting frustrated that I had to set up a whole construct rather than just using my own hands and tools. Really, that was just me being lazy and wanting to rush through something. And then yes, you can also change the moon cycle at will, which will allow you to harvest some different variations of plants. And then there's also some rituals that you can complete, but these are literally only done as part of the storyline. You don't do them otherwise. But yeah, so there's this cauldron in your home. It's purely for looks. You don't use it. You don't make potions, nothing like that. And yeah, other than those things I just mentioned, the game is supernatural in a sense, and you have portals and unique NPCs and you use constructs, but you yourself as a character don't do really anything witchy, in my mind at least. Now, not that that's a bad thing, but like you can totally start your game wearing a witch's hat, and the game's called Ritual of Raven, and it just seems like a really kind of witchy kind of game. So I do think it's maybe a little bit misleading if that's really what you're after, and then you go to play this game and can't really do anything witchy. Put that aside. So on top of your farming, solving construct puzzles, completing the museums, decorating, and doing the main story and side quests, there's also these jars that you'll find randomly around everywhere that will require some materials to be put into it. And then completing these will open up a new area for you to explore. So basically there's lots of stuff to do in this game. And I really enjoyed it. The cute art style and characters, NPCs with good personalities, being able to decorate my house and especially my yard, that was so much fun. And just loads of quests to constantly keep me busy. Aside from the automation aspect, which I don't particularly love in most games, but it ended up being pretty okay in this one. But aside from that, it's pretty much a perfect game for me. I really liked it. So yeah, if you tend to like similar games to me, or you like the sound of this one, definitely recommend checking it out. Thank you so much for watching my video, and I hope to see you in the next one. Bye!